Hey everybody, it's Mike Guillaume from Sons of a Pitch Soccer Podcast, back to bring you picks and predictions for Decision Day. Decision Day is here. It is time. All season, we've been waiting for this. All of the games kick off at the exact same time to determine the fates of multiple teams today in this league, getting ready for this new and revamped playoff structure, the one and done, only one team in each conference getting a bye. Lots to play for on this Decision Day. So the Eastern Conference, not as much as the Western Conference. The Western Conference still has 2 spots available. The Eastern Conference, all 7 teams have locked in a playoff spot. However, there is some room for change in seeding to who's going to get the last home game, who's going to end up in that 4 spot, as well as, who can be 5, 6, 7 in that range, depending on some of the results on Sunday. So a reminder for everybody, a kickoff time is 3 o'clock Central. That's 1 o'clock if you are on the Pacific, 2 o'clock Mountain Time, 3 Central, 4 Eastern for everybody out there on the East Coast. So let's jump right into this. We are bringing the picks and predictions for this Decision Day. This is how I think it's going to go down, and how it will all shake out through Decision Day. So let's jump into it. First game up is, of course, they're all going to be kicking off at the same exact time, so it's really not really the first game. But the first game is listed on MLSsoccer.com is Atlanta United against New England Revolution. So here's a game that you've got 2 teams that are in the playoff picture for the Eastern Conference. Atlanta has been playing okay. They're missing Joseph Martinez. Maybe he'll be back. Word is he's training now, so he might actually play. Who knows? New England, they're in that 7th spot. They're trying to move up a little bit, maybe get into that 6th or 5th seed. Not really much change. They're still going to have to go on the road in that first round game, but possibly down the road if some of the worst seeds end up advancing, maybe they get a home game down the road, but I doubt it. This game, I see this one going as a draw. I think Atlanta is going to, if they have Joseph Martinez, which is a big if, it might be for a few minutes off the bench, but they cannot move up to that bye spot in the first spot in the Eastern Conference. New York City FC has clinched that, so I think that Atlanta will come out pretty decent, and New England's got a lot to fight for to try and move up in the standings. So I'm going to go with a draw in this game. My pick is a draw. Next up, we've got DC United hosting FC Cincinnati. DC United with a win could, I believe it's just all they need to do is win and have one other result go their way to get that last home game in the East. DC United hosting FC Cincinnati. This is it. This is the last game of the season, the inaugural season for FC Cincinnati. It's in DC. I expect DC to come out and throw this one down big time. My pick is DC United to get the win. The Western Conference game, FC Dallas against Sporting Kansas City. So FC Dallas really is just trying to get into one of those last playoff spots out in the West. Sporting Kansas City is done and dusted. My pick in this game is Dallas to win and take one of those playoff spots out west. Another game in the Western Conference in Texas, Houston Dynamo hosting LA Galaxy. LA Galaxy coming off a shocking result last week against Vancouver Whitecaps. I thought LA Galaxy was just going to crush the Whitecaps in LA. That did not happen. I think they bounce back, get ready for the playoffs. They get the win over Houston Dynamo. LAFC and Colorado Rapids. This is actually a very interesting game. If you would have talked about this game 2 months ago, it would not have been interesting. But today on Decision Day, on Sunday on Decision Day, it will be a big game. LAFC has a chance to set a new MLS points total for the regular season. Remember, Toronto FC did it a couple of years ago back in 2017 with 69. On Decision Day, they set it. Then last year, you had the Red Bulls get that win to take them up to 71 and clinch that record. LAFC's been struggling lately, minus the win against Houston. They haven't really done much in the league. They're kind of coasting into the playoffs, so to say. In this one, I think that Colorado, who has been an absolute tear since Robin Fraser has come in, I believe they've only lost 1 game, and that was the Toronto FC. Colorado is going to be playing well. It's at the bank, so my pick in this one is a draw. Montreal Impact hosting the New York Red Bulls. Montreal Impact, they've got really nothing to play for. Season's done. Maybe they're playing for their jobs. Red Bulls are still kind of working on that seeding piece. My pick in this game is the Red Bulls to get the job done on the road and head into the playoffs on a high. 6 down, 6 to go. Orlando City hosting Chicago Fire. Here's two teams that are in the Eastern Conference. Their season is over. This is the last game of the season. Chicago was eliminated last week, as was Orlando City. This one is in Orlando. The only reason is the home field for my pick. My pick is Orlando City to win. It's going to be a good game between two fairly evenly matched teams that are missing out on the playoffs. So Orlando City, I think, will get the job done and send their fans home happy one last time for this season and getting ready for next. Philadelphia Union and New York City FC. Two of the top teams in the Eastern Conference. New York City's got that 1 seed clinched. It's done. They are getting ready for that playoff run at Citi Field or Yankee Stadium. We're not sure which venue, but it will be a baseball stadium. We talked about that on our podcast last week on Tuesday. Philadelphia Union, this team plays well at Talent Energy Stadium, except for every once in a while they throw up a stinker there. I don't know what it is. But my pick in this game is Philadelphia to win, fighting for that second spot with Atlanta United. I think they will keep pace and get the win. Now probably the biggest matchup of them all on Decision Day is Portland Timbers hosting San Jose Earthquakes. Whoever wins this game gets into the playoffs. The Quakes traveling up to Providence Park. Portland has not played well lately at all. This is a team who hadn't scored a goal in about 5 games. Last week they got 2, but it was a draw on the road at Kansas City. San Jose's been kind of up and down. They've had a roller coaster. It seems like they feel a little bit hard done by some of the refereeing decisions that have gone against them in the last couple of games. So this one's going to be interesting. I've been picking Portland for the last 5 weeks, just waiting for them to start winning at home like they should be. But this one, I'm going against that. My pick is the San Jose Earthquakes to win and clinch a playoff spot on Decision Day. Now the final 3 games, we've got Seattle Sounders hosting Minnesota United FC. Seattle and Minnesota, both in the playoffs, both in that upper echelon, probably will be hosting a first-round game in the playoffs, but it's not for sure yet, so this should be an exciting matchup to watch. This one, I think, because it is in Seattle, they're such evenly matched teams. I've got to go with Seattle at home just because they do play fairly well at Quest Field there, and I think they will get it, or CenturyLink Field, whatever the hell it's called now. Seattle gets the win over Minnesota. Toronto FC hosting Columbus Crew. TFC coming off a disappointing loss to Montreal in the Canadian Champions League a couple weeks ago, or a week and a half ago, I should say. Then you've got a decent result on the road against Chicago. They're playing a struggling Columbus Crew side who is done. They're out of the playoffs. Excited about their new stadium, but that's about it. For some reason, I just have a bad feeling about this for TFC. I think they've got plans to try and get a home game. They need a win and some help. I believe they need a loss or draw by both New York Red Bulls and DC United, which I don't see that happening. So I think they're going to be opening up the playoffs on the road anyway. I think they come out a little flat in this one. They have a history of that to get ready for the playoffs. And I'm going to go with a draw in this matchup. Nobody gets the 3 points. They each take a point, and Toronto goes on to the playoffs. Columbus goes home for the offseason. Last game, Vancouver Whitecaps hosting RSL, Real Salt Lake. RSL is in the playoffs. They're in that hunt there. Vancouver's done. They had that surprise win at LA Galaxy last week, but I cannot pick a team that's eliminated going up against a team that's fighting for their seeding and going into the playoffs pretty much on a high. So my pick in this one is RSL, Real Salt Lake, gets the win on the road in Vancouver. Now, thanks for joining me for our live stream of my picks and predictions for Decision Day. Appreciate your time. Look out, fans. Check it out. We are getting ready to launch our swag line. We've got clothes, we've got coffee mugs, we've got all kinds of stuff. that you can purchase through Redbubble. We are going to be launching that with a lot of social media presence tonight and tomorrow, Friday and Saturday, getting ready for Decision Day, and probably on Decision Day as well, while we tweet about some of the games. So if you want to support our show, help us out by, one, repping our product out on the streets, two, by getting us a little bit of money in the bank and supporting our show, letting us grow, do more ventures like this YouTube thing, like, swag lineups and all kinds of other stuff that we've been doing. It would be much appreciated. So with that being said, you can find us at SOP Soccer on Twitter. That is where we do most of our business. We talk with you guys constantly through DMs, through tweets during the games, getting that conversation going and building the excitement in the sport of soccer in the USA, which is what we are all about here at Sons of a Pitch Soccer Podcast, an American soccer podcast, all about MLS, all about the U.S. men's national team, a little bit about CONCACAF as well, but we are strictly here. We don't do any of that European stuff, even though Nick likes to talk about it every once in a while. So thanks for joining us. We will talk to you guys soon, and good luck for your team on Decision Day.